it's a long game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until you sell or whatever your end goal is, it's like, so you can't wait until to start enjoying it. It's like, you got to enjoy it. And then
Enjoy it as while you're in it right
and the
now.
enjoying of the process makes the process even better if you enjoy it along the way, and it's not just hustling and grinding every day. So that's where the harmony piece comes in, like really designing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like a game changer for me is like going for a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Leave my phone in the house and just
go.
go for a walk. It was good. In this episode, we sat down with an amazing entrepreneur, and one of the things that we actually dove into is as he's at a point where that's very familiar with to me and other entrepreneurs when it comes to like scaling. Sometimes you go through a process where you have to like break some things down and rebuild in some areas. And one of the areas we talked about specifically is in team. So one of the things that he walked away with is an exact system of like how to actually build a pipeline of high quality talent. And then how do you train that talent? So now when you hire somebody, you can actually get them to producing so you can get an ROI on that new hire. Because a lot of times people hire and they don't really have a system to actually get them to actually working. So now you can get an ROI because they'll go months and months and months paying somebody and that person isn't even producing because they don't really have a systemized process. And we dove into how do you create a pipeline of high quality talent coming in. So now even when you hire somebody, you already got backups in place just in case this hire don't work out. So if you don't got a hiring funnel in place that's fully optimized, you actually want to check this out. If you want to build an amazing world-class team, you definitely want to check this out. And if you want to make sure your finances and profit is on point, you definitely want to check this out as well. So I see you on the episode. Let's get to it. All right, what's good, Wes? So tell everybody who you are and what your company and what you do.
So Dr. Wes Fisher, I was a school teacher for 8 years. I taught special education in Ohio. Loved it. That was my passion. 2020, 2021 came and I got involved in government contracting. I saw that there's a way of making money from home. I said, you know what? Let me try this government contracting thing. From 2020, 2021, 2022, built a 6-figure, 7-figure company in government contracting.
Yes.
And then we bumped. We didn't bump in person, but you did a talk in Miami.
Yep.
I forget when it was.
At Black Equity Con. It was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I want to say.
3 years ago.
2 or 3 years ago, you did a talk in Miami, and I was like, I got a skill set. Like, I know how to make money. Let me go talk to this man. So I had to chase you down, down. See, there's a whole story about it. We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, long story short, found you, and then now I teach government contract. I teach people how to make 6 and 7 figures a year in government contracting without doing the physical work.
And then you killing it on that side. You're probably like, whoa, Marquel, slow down. If you're enjoying the show so far, you may be wondering, how do you actually become a guest? Now, this isn't a platform where anybody can just get on. You got to be in a specific area of your business where we can really do a solid deep dive. If you want to be a guest on an upcoming episode, all you got to do is go to strategicscaleguest.com. Strategicscaleguest.com. There is an application process, so go over there, answer a couple simple questions, watch the quick video that I have there, answer a couple simple questions, and if you meet the criteria, our team will reach out to you and we'll get it scheduled and we can figure out if you're going to come to our office where we do a deep dive or we come to your office. So go ahead, strategicscaleguest.com. Let's get back into the show.
It's going really good. My students have been awarded over 60+ million to date. And I've been coaching for 2 years now. So
I love it. So, that's when you can really tell. So like you didn't, the beautiful thing is like you didn't go into how much money you make because you killing it. You went into like my students have awarded 60 million. And that's when you know somebody really winning when they talking about how their clients winning, not
100%.
how they winning.
Learned it from you.
I love it. I love it.
Learned it from you. I think when I was at Miami, I saw that sign. I forgot what it was. Some billion.
A billion in revenue.
Billion in revenue for my students. I said, this is the man I need to talk to. Like, that's what you led with. And that's what I do. I've embodied that, man, in my business 100% every single day. I mean, I tell people about my contracts because they want to hear about it. Yeah. But it ain't about me. It ain't about me if I was in a Lambo or in a mansion. It's like, what are my students doing?
Yeah.
So that's man.
I love it. I love it. So what would you say is the biggest skill constraint or constraints that you want to dive into during our session? I know you came prepared with notes.
I mapped out your flywheel here, right?
I saw that.
I kind of mapped it out here, but you see, I left some blanks. Like, so I got the irresistible offer, effortless enrollment, creating clients for life, financial and world-class team. Kind of got that. As you can see, I left blank harmony, inner game mastery, and multi-dimensional marketing. Those are the things that we have no game plan on right now. So if we can tap into any of those, that'd be better.
Bro, no, I love it. All right, boom. So we got harmony, and I love this. So were you recently, or what was this on the
Our last
Seven Fig Side Car?
Correct. Yeah.
And I was talking about it. You took a picture of it and was like, let me go back to it.
That picture? Yeah, that's it.
Bro,
yeah.
this
you
dude,
know how I am.
this dude,
I was like, when you pulled it up, I was like, let me snap a picture of that real quick so that way I can map it out.
And then go through and see how it works out for your business.
As you can see, it's from our call.
Bro,
I snapped the picture.
I love it. I love it. I love this. I love this. I love this. All right, perfect. So let's work through this.
Okay.
So harmony.
Yeah. That's my question is, can you recap what is harmony? Like,
100%. Yeah. So with the harmony piece, it boils down to, I actually can pull it up and show you what I call that 7-step iOS, right? So the harmony really, that's Inner Game Mastery. So let's go to Inner Game Mastery. Actually, Inner Game Mastery and harmony kind of tie together.
Okay.
So Inner Game Mastery is how do you build, like a fully optimized company has to be run by a fully optimized CEO, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually had this stat where it says that according to Wall Street Journal, more than 1,900 CEOs left their jobs last year, and a record 19 died in office. Right. In a Deloitte study, we were just talking about Deloitte, it said 82% have experienced exhaustion indicative of burnout, and 96% feel their mental health has declined. And then it goes into and then depending on how the CEO's business is performing, that'll hit them as well, because then they tie their identity to their business success. So they may say, all right, well my business is having a down quarter. So then they'll start taking that as a personal hit, and that'll hit their personal identity, and that'll affect them as a father, as a husband, all these other areas, right? And then it boils down to long hours, stress, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, poor eating habits, all that, right? And we've mostly all been through that. So then it's like, how do you hedge against that? Because as entrepreneurs, we are literally athletes. But a lot of times we can see LeBron on the court, we can see Serena on the court, and we can see like that energy they're exerting. Like, cause we see them around the court. Us as entrepreneurs, we're on, and it's like internally and here, it's like we on. So sometimes it can be hard for us to go to sleep because it's like, man, I got this new idea, let me work on this. Or I got this revenue goal I need to hit, or I got this team, I got this salary. And now it's like even when we think we ain't on, we on, right? Yeah. So now it's like, okay, how do we hedge against that? So the way we hedge against it is what we call the 7-step UOS, U operating system. So the morning success ritual, we talk about that morning success ritual a lot. Then the weekly map. That weekly map basically looks like, this is an example of mine. I think you got the weekly map template. Right? And then having that, and then your team having it as well, like whoever running your calendar, is like now they know how to schedule you. Oh. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So for example,
I need to do that.
So for example, it's like, all right, I like my weekends blocked off for the most part, unless something is going on, unless we're having an event or something like that. Then I got areas where it's like blocked for clients. Sometimes we'll make some exceptions because sometimes the client might like, hey, that date don't work. I got this happening, and then we can make some exceptions. But a rule of thumb is like, ideally, if we can make it work here, let's do it there. But if we need to make some adjustments, cool. And then we block for interviews. So all these interview requests we get, we like, all right, cool. This is the area that we got for interview. Again, sometimes we'll make some exceptions depending on the opportunity. And then it's like, all right, we do meetings on this day because I don't want to be in meetings every day. So we got meetings on these days. This area is blocked for production. This area I'm checking email, Monday or Slack. And it's literally like, we got a map of how we like operating through that whole process, pre-sleep routine, the whole nine.
I need to do that because I have my calendar, not to give you a screenshot. And that's where I've been making mistakes, I guess. I've been doing, like I blocked out, like let's say for Tuesday, I do meetings just on Tuesday, right? And I have it blocked out there. So she knows to only put my meetings on Tuesday. And my Genius Day was on Thursday, but I haven't really blocked out everything else. So you saying give this to my assistant, that way she knows what goes on these time spans.
Exactly.
And that way you don't got to be on here. Because that's, okay.
Because it can be, so you want to have two. Because like typically she'll take that and then block. She knows like, okay, only schedule Wes for this on this particular area unless he signs off for it. You get what I'm saying? So one of the things we working on is Fridays, and with very few exceptions, I don't really schedule anything on Fridays. Right? So now we shooting the show now. So now it's like on Thursdays is blocked for shooting. Right? So that's on there. But that's the production time because we're creating content that's gonna live forever. So that's high leverage, right?
That makes sense.
I mean, then with our weekly boot camp we doing, it was on Thursday, but we moved it to Wednesday because I was like, if we do Thursday, some of the book calls are gonna go into the following week. if we do Wednesday, we can get more book calls that week before going into the weekend.
Makes
so
sense.
It's like, let's flip that around and then let's do shooting on Thursday, because sometimes we're gonna shoot at our location, sometimes we're gonna go to other people's location.
Right.
So we need to just have that day blocked off just logistically, right?
That makes sense.
And then this is important for me as well personally, because my wife is a nurse, right? And her schedule is actually more intense than mine, right? So I gotta like work around her. So now I need to figure out if I'm traveling, if it's a work day for her, I need to make sure things are in place like for the kids.
So her time is on that same calendar?
Her time, she gets me her calendar, and then I'll have her calendar in my notepad, and then I can like look at if I'm scheduling stuff out, if I'm going to be out of the house. If I'm at the house, it's typically cool because the boys ride the bus except for my little one. And my little one got like a driver, like it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Got a little
my
driver
pastor
going?
be tripping out because he got a little driver, like because his lady got a company, and they're like, it's pretty cool.
That's dope.
So if we need that extra, you know, but if my wife off, she'll drop him off, pick him up, vice versa. We got that happening. So now we can like maneuver, and it's not all in my head, and I'm not trying to remember all this stuff, because if it ain't on the calendar, it ain't real.
It ain't
right?
real.
If I gotta remember it, it's like yesterday, my wife was like, she texted me and was like, hey, could you turn the dryer back? I'll put those clothes in the dryer. And I was like, cool. I had the best intentions to put the clothes in the dryer. But it's like, she got home a few hours later, was like, hey, did you put the thing? And I'm like, I'll do it right now. Like I totally forgot. It went on the calendar. I ain't write it down. Like I got to do it right then. So this helps with that. Even my pre-sleep routine, the sleep, I got to put present time on the calendar, because again, I can just go. So I got to be super intentional. So that's what that weekly map looked like.
Got you. So on the two things, go back real quick. It was a weekly map.
So it's 7 things so far. So we have morning success ritual so far, and then we have weekly map.
Got you.
Then the third part is that war calendar. You got this template too.
Yeah.
So the war calendar, this is how we zoom out for the year. So now we fill in the year with the personal life stuff first, and then we build the business stuff around it. So the quarterly vacations on there, the Christmas trip is on there,
got that.
the CEO camps, all that. Because we worked on that when we was at the CEO camp that one time. So like making sure with my wife, because she was gone 8 days to Thailand, so my whole life was adjusted for like 8 days.
Right.
But me having that on there from the front end, I was able to like navigate it. You know what I'm saying? So now we got the year-long war map. And then we got, and typically when I'm showing CEOs and founders, they like, what? They like, I run all my stuff through my head. I got a notepad. They like, they ain't even thinking about this, right? And then you got to notice if you're going to scale, because if you are in chaos, when you scale, everything scales,
all chaos,
right? Because scale, people think scale is going fast. Scale is just multiplication and duplication. So it's like, if you're in chaos, you're going to multiply chaos, right? If you already exhausted, you're just going to multiply more of that, right?
Yep.
So then we got the power grid, the 80-20 power grid. That's when we look at negative $100 per hour activities, $10 per hour activities, $100 per hour activities, $10,000 per hour. So what does that look like?
Gotcha.
What is when you look at your calendar, is it filled with $10,000 per hour activities, $100,000 per hour activities, or is it $100 per hour activities? So one of the things on Sunday, I have a running meeting on my calendar. My wife is joking with me about it. It says Mark Quell's meeting. So I'm like,
with yourself.
It's a meeting with myself, right? So that's like how I reviewed my week.
I like that.
I review the week, and then I plan the new week
on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Okay.
So then I'm like, all right, I audit my calendar. So now it's like, okay, what's on my calendar that shouldn't be there? Like what
can you delegate?
What can I delegate? Like, is my calendar filled with $10,000 per hour activities, $100,000 per hour activities, or do I got some $10 hour activities, negative $10, $100 per hour? You know what I'm saying? So I'm auditing that type of stuff. Am I traveling? Have I communicated that with the wife? What's going on, so I can audit that on the front end?
I like that.
So, and then a fully optimized scorecard. I showed you a fully optimized scorecard too. So that's like tracking the sleep score. I know you got the Oura Ring.
Yeah, I got the Oura Ring.
So tracking that sleep score, tracking the readiness score, how many hours did I sleep? Did I get up before 4? Well, now it's get up before 5 because I'm getting up at like 4:30 now.
Are you inputting your data in here, or your assistant input it?
I input it.
You input on there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think the only way my assistant would be able to do it if they had like access to the data from my Ring, right?
Yeah.
So, so did I get it? Did I brain train? Did I meditate? Did I work out? Did I have a clean diet? Did I read? So that's the quantitative data. And then qualitative is like, how do I feel about life right now? How do I feel about work? How do I feel about my health? And then, of course, we get the big picture data.
Also, all that input goes into this interface here.
That. Yep. So now it gives you a breakdown. Yeah. So now when you're going into a new week or a new month, you can be like, okay, what do I need to optimize for? So if I look at it and I got several days where I didn't even feel the data in, I was like, okay, I was way too busy. I had too much going on. So now I need to look at the calendar like, okay, why didn't I get these specific things done?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying. I need to implement it. This is good. The great thing is, I've heard it, but it's like I got to implement it. So this is what I need to hear.
And then we got the wind down ritual. So it's like one thing for me is like, and it's one thing that's a work in progress is like making a clear distinction of your work day and then ending work, going into like time with the wife, other stuff, right? So one thing I had to do was like, I got to leave this phone in the office.
Yep.
And then this the family phone.
Yep.
And only a handful of people got the number.
Yep.
There's no social media on it. None of that. Right?
I did the same thing.
You got to, right?
Therapist, she told me, shout out to my therapist, Dr. RJ. She told me the same thing. Shout out to Dr. RJ.
You got to get another phone.
Yeah, get another phone.
Because
don't put nothing on it.
Don't put nothing on it.
Nothing on it. Yeah.
Don't put nothing on it. I even deleted social media from this phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I found myself on it too much.
Scrolling and yeah.
So now if I ain't doing something, instead of me scrolling just to scroll social, I'll find an article to read. Or I turn the audiobook on. So that time I normally would have been scrolling, I can use that time reading or something like that. If I'm just sitting, not doing nothing, but my default is to like go to Facebook or go to Instagram.
And I think I'm doing work. I'm like, I make money on social media.
Yeah, like, you just scrolling.
Yeah, just scrolling.
And then you start getting sucked into what other people doing. Yeah. And then you start subconsciously comparing yourself. I want to stay focused, right? Especially in the what we focused on company-wise. And I want to just be able to lock in and not be scrolling social media, just watching what other people doing. I want to be super locked in, and then like if I'm just sitting, instead of me being on Instagram, let me pull up an article, let me pull up this newsletter that I like, and let me get some reading in. Or this book that I know I'm supposed to be reading. Let me keep a book with me or doing some audiobooks.
That's good.
And I maximize the time there.
That's what I got to start doing. I know myself doing that on a lot of social media, especially me. I'm big on TikTok because I do a lot of TikTok. I go live every day on TikTok. So sometimes I'll probably scroll TikTok for an hour or two.
You get what I'm saying?
Thinking like I'm doing research right now.
You get what I'm saying?
I post a lot, and it's like
you could have been reading.
Right? Yeah.
You could have been reading.
Yeah.
You could like legit reading.
Yeah.
So one thing I do my wind down ritual is like I have an end of day report. I think you got that template too. Yeah. Not I give it to you, but you have an end of day report where it's like asking these questions. One of them is like, where did I win today? How was my energy today? How was my clarity? How was my productivity? Did I own my schedule? That type of thing, right? And I got a whole template. If you don't got it, I'll get it to you.
Oh yeah, I got it. We'll talk.
Okay, yeah. So I go through that end of day report, and then it's like, all right, shut down complete. I literally say it sometimes, like shut down complete.
What do you mean you like say it? Like
verbally
say it?
Yeah, like just to trigger my brain.
And
then I'll leave it, and then I'll go out my office, and I'll intentionally close the door.
Get out of here.
Just to mentally.
Okay.
My door is closed. Lights are off. I'm out.
And that way you know that you shut off and that's done.
Yep, because I don't want to be around my kids and I'm scrolling social media. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want my kids to subconsciously think that what I'm doing on my phone is more important than them.
Than what they got going
on. Or I don't want my wife to think whatever I got going on my phone is more important.
I got
So it's like, I'm like, okay, how do I do that? Well, keep this phone away from me because this thing gone.
And when you go out to dinner and stuff like that, you just leave the work phone I
typically work. More often than not, I keep. So sometimes I have it with me because when I'm with my kids, they like, hey, can you turn your Wi-Fi on? So I got the Wi-Fi on here, but it's typically it can't nothing get through for the most part.
Gotcha.
Right? But the perfect, and again, I ain't perfect at it, but the ideal situation is this phone at home, this one with me, that's it. And now I heard the kids say one day we was riding, and one of them was like, can you turn the Wi-Fi on? And my other one was like, well, Dad left the work phone at home.
He said that.
The Wi-Fi.
So you know they watching.
The Wi-Fi, they watching. They always watching.
Yeah, they always watching. Yeah.
Yeah, they always watching. So that's super important. And then the other part of the wind down ritual is like before I go to sleep. Like my pre-sleep routine, when I get it right, it's like I do chamomile tea with some honey in it. And then I put like 3 or 4 drops of lavender in the shower, hit the shower up, and then I do some magnesium. And then I
recently got on magnesium.
Got a magnesium?
Started taking magnesium.
Boom.
Yep.
And then put the black thing over my eyes,
Black.
and I'm out. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna send you a link because my guy the other day sent me this thing because he saw me post about the REM sleep. It's like a pad that you lay on the bed and you sleep on it. And he was like, since he been sleeping on it, his REM sleep been out the roof. I'll send you the link. It's in my DM. I send it to you.
Send me a link on that.
Because I'm gonna order that.
Okay.
So the pre-sleep routine, game changer.
Okay.
Wake up, sleep like a baby. Even if ideally I like to get 6 hours of sleep. Ideally on the low end.
6 hours?
On the low end. That's my ideal. What's your number?
I mean, I'm shooting for 8. I'm doing 7 right now, which is good. I used to have 6 last month.
So when school was out, I was letting my body sleep until I woke up. And I was waking up about 6:30, so I was averaging about 8 or 9 hours, right? Mm-hmm. So I could probably use 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. But if I do 6, I'm optimal at 6.
Okay.
Right? I could do 5, but it ain't optimal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But even when I get less sleep, mm-hmm. and I do my pre-sleep routine,
it's still
I still feel super rested.
Gotcha.
Because I had quality sleep.
Right.
Because if I sleep 8 or 9 hours, but if it ain't quality,
exactly,
it ain't gonna be no good. If I'm still waking up, up all night, I gotta go pee, or I'm hot, all the different type of stuff, it still ain't gonna be quality sleep.
Yeah, I noticed that the order ring because it'll say time in bed versus time sleep.
Exactly.
I get 9 hours in bed.
Yeah.
But I'll still get 7, 6 hours of
sleep. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
2 different things.
It's 2 completely different things.
Absolutely, I got you.
So that's the wind down ritual, and then of course the quarterly and the annual vacations. Yep. You already know.
Doing those pretty good.
You've been doing those.
Yeah,
pretty
doing
good.
those really good.
Doing those pretty good.
We got Maldives here in September. So.
Really?
Yes, sir.
How long is that flight?
We're going from Houston to Dubai, so that's another 16, 17 hour flight, and then from Dubai to Maldives, which is like 5 hours.
That's crazy.
So whatever. And then once you get on the islands, then you got to catch the one plane to the one plane to the small boat to the small boat.
That's gonna be dope. Maldives gonna be dope. That's in September.
End of September. Yeah.
Nice. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope. So that's the UOS. That's the operating system to help with the inner game mastery. Because part of the morning success ritual may be reading and whatever your information diet type situation is. That will tie into the morning success ritual, and also in your calendar, like carve. Some people's like they want to hit the gym more. It's like, well, you got to put the gym on your calendar. Mm-hmm. Some people say they want to read more. We're like, you got to put reading on the calendar. Like you literally got to
put it on the calendar.
You got to put it on the calendar.
I will do that. Okay. So this goes with harmony. Basically, this is kind of how it kind of ties in together.
It ties into harmony because the harmony piece is like you want to have a business where you can the business can run and you can still enjoy the other stuff. Because a lot of times I talk to business owners and it's like they're sacrificing all the other stuff until. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're missing some of the games or with the kids, or they're missing this, or they don't have. It's like their business is built around their life, right? So it's kind of like if you had a jar and you filled it up with rocks, and then you put water around the rocks to fill up the gaps, but it's like the rocks is the business stuff,
correct?
And they're trying to squeeze the personal life stuff. Like they ain't going to the gym,
right?
So they out of shape. Right.
So they can't fit no more rock. You can't have a rock gym and add it to it when you already filled it up.
You already filled up with all this other stuff. You don't got, I ain't been able to gym. I don't got time because it's like you got other stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
Or man, I want to do this with the kids. Or it's like, but you can't do that because it's like the business stuff is taking priority, right? Yeah. So it's like, how do you have harmony? Because like a lot of times, the biggest question I get on podcasts is people asking me like, how do you, they say, man, I see you got the kids and I see you got the wife and I see you do the stuff in ministry and I see you do like, how do you balance it all? And I'm like, I don't balance it all.
It's not a balance.
It's not a balance.
What do you mean by that?
It's a harmony.
It's harmony.
It's like, how do I tie it all together? Because if you think about it, balance basically speaks to an even distribution.
Yeah.
But it's not an even distribution.
Yeah.
Like if I work the business, let's say 6 hours, like my kids ain't trying to sit with me for 6 hours.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like my wife ain't gonna be around me for 6 hours. So if I divide it 4 ways, we ain't gonna be around 6 hours because she got other stuff going on. But it's like when we are together, being present in that time and enjoying that time is important. Me playing with my son with his toys, it may be 10 or 15 minutes, but he good. Like last night, I shut down and me and my son, we watched, my 2 sons, one of them went to sleep. We watched Edward Scissorhands. You remember Edward Scissorhands?
That movie, yeah.
So we watched that last night.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 hours, but it was like, I went on my phone, we didn't have a laptop out, I wasn't half watching it. It's like we was locked in. 2 hours, he enjoyed it.
And he good.
He good.
Yeah.
We did our one-on-one Sunday. We went out to we did laser tag.
I saw that.
Arcades.
I saw you post that. Yeah.
For like 2 hours.
Yeah.
We good.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gotta figure out like, man, how do I get 6 hours a day with the kids? It's like the kids ain't trying to be with you that long. You don't gotta be in the gym 3 hours. You can do a workout for 20 minutes.
I like that.
But you harmonize, like how do I get it all in some type of way? That makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
So that's where the harmony come in. Like we don't gotta because growing the company, me and Albert was talking about like as you grow in the company, it's like it's a long game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until you sell or whatever your end goal is, it's like so you can't wait until to start enjoying it. It's like you gotta enjoy it. And then
enjoy it as while you're in it right
and the
now.
enjoying of the process makes the process even better if you're enjoying it along the way and it's not just hustling and grinding every day. So that's where the harmony piece comes in. Like really designing that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like a game changer for me is like going for a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Leave my phone in the house and just go for a walk.
But yeah.
Like my boy Cantus called walks God's therapy.
God's therapy.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Like just totally unplugged walk. I mean,
yeah.
Bro.
All right.
Game changer.
I'm gonna add that on here too.
So that's the harmony, and then that's the inner game mastery. So the inner game mastery, making sure we're continuing to be fully optimized. And the beautiful thing is like optimization is an ongoing process, right? So you get to the point and like, okay, now I optimize this, and I'm optimizing. So like one thing I'm optimizing now is just my calorie intake. Not even going to the gym and working out like crazy every day.
What you actually bringing in.
20 minutes of some kind of physical activity. It can be stretching. It can be a walk, right? But making sure my calories are less than 2250.
Yep.
Right. And then optimize. Yesterday, I ended up being like 1500.
Wow.
Right. But I just wasn't hungry no more.
Right.
So I went like, I got to force the other 700.
Right.
But I'm optimizing that.
That's good.
And then we get that data, and then I meet with IB, and it's like, let's look at the data.
That's
and
good.
then I'm like, it's a correlation of like what the scale says.
Yeah.
And then how much and it's zero correlation to how much I worked out the week before.
Really?
Zero.
Get out of here.
It's 100% correlation how much I ate. Zero correlation to how much I worked out. I could literally not work out at all. Get on the scale after a week and be down 2 pounds. As long as my calorie intake was where it was supposed to be.
He reached out to me. I got to call him next week.
He actually told me I
can call him next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I'm talking about they brilliant. I don't work with a lot. I'm just gonna sell them right now.
Yeah,
right?
Do it. Do
like,
what you gotta do.
I've worked with lots of different trainers and great trainers. The way they understand it is like nothing I've ever seen before in my life.
Really? I'm looking forward to it.
Just because we like data.
Yeah.
So it's like the data and how you're breaking it down, and I'm like, this is crazy.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
It's crazy. Okay. So so that's the harmony and the inner game mastery stuff.
Okay.
That makes sense?
That. Yep.
Cool.
Got that. So the multidimensional marketing, what's that about?
So the multidimensional marketing is, I'm gonna give you a visual of this too, right? So the multidimensional marketing is twofold, right? So the multidimensional marketing, first of all, we want to be thinking about, because a lot of times people are running marketing and ads, for example, and they're just focused on right now money. But marketing is about, multidimensional is like creating right now money and current income and future income, right? Okay. So it's like
not just selling a ticket to this today, but how can we think about the future?
Bingo. Okay, so you're gonna have people who buy tickets to your event, right? Who became leads a year ago, but they haven't bought nothing.
I got you.
But now they're gonna buy a ticket and come to your event a year, 2 years later. But this is money you spent 2 years ago in advertising. But because you're building that email list and that audience, right? So sometimes people be trying to create a piece of content, and this piece of content leads to sales. It's like that's not technically how content works, right? I was chatting with a lady the other day, and she was like, somebody mentioned me to her. She said she searched my name on Instagram. She went on my Instagram profile and started watching content. She was like, that video where you break down the correlation of selling drugs and building businesses, she was like, that got me. She was like, when I was in graduate school, I had to watch a documentary or series about that particular thing. She was like, when I saw that video, that's when I registered for your boot camp.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm creating content for right now. People gonna be watching my content.
And that video was how old? I mean,
you get what I'm saying? I don't end up telling.
Yeah.
And it's from an event where I spoke at, right? Yeah. So it's like people still gonna be watching our content 30 years from now. You get what I'm saying? So think about it. I don't know how long Jim Rohn been dead, but we still watching stuff.
Still watching.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, still watching.
So we're gonna be 100 years old, and people gonna still be watching. Like this episode, these people still gonna be watching this. You know what I'm saying? And people gonna be able to understand this. Yeah. People may probably be using this at universities.
That's crazy.
As case studies to like teach business, because we having real business conversations. You know what I'm saying? So this could be like they're bringing this in for curriculum purposes. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So again, current money and then future income. But a lot of times people are just focusing on right now. And then when it's like you want to have what marketing. So it's like, what's the what marketing? The what marketing is like how-to content.
How-to content,
yep.
Okay.
Here's what to do. Here's how to submit government contracts. Here's how to, get set up to be.
Here's how they do it. Here's how to click.
That's the how-to stuff.
Here's the how-to.
Yep, that's what your TikTok lives, right?
Correct, yeah.
The why marketing is like why you do what you do. So do you talk a lot about why you do what you do?
Why? I mean, I talk about my story, about how I got here as I was a school teacher and why I guess that is kind of like why.
Yeah.
It's like, I was making this much, and as I saw this opportunity.
So what about but you killing it. So it's like, why? So why? What's the mission around what you do?
The mission for the other people,
or just in general. So I give you an example. So for me, one of the missions is, part of the mission is, so let's say, for example, we help you build a multi-million-dollar company. Think about, so we're in it for the cycle. So let's say we help you build a multi-million-dollar company. Now you have a whole staff. So we've been able to create impact through you to people that we'll probably never meet.
Never know. Yeah.
And then you said you've helped your clients do
They've
60 million.
Over 60 million, yeah.
These people I ain't gonna never meet.
Yeah.
These people don't even know who I
crazy.
am. Don't care
That's
who I
crazy.
am. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like through the work we've done together, and you just getting warmed up. You've been there 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like over the next couple of years, you've been impacting millions of people.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Real quick, if you're watching this episode, which you clearly are, and you're like, okay, this is amazing. If you're a business owner right now watching this and you're making $30K to $100K per month at least, or you're making $1 million or $5 million, and you're looking to get to 10, 15, 20 million and beyond, and you're like, how do I strategically scale my business without burning out and without sacrificing the thing that matters, all the things that matters? I actually put together a special bonus gift for podcast listeners only. So if you go to strategicscalegift.com, that's strategicscalegift.com. We're going to hook you up with some tools, some strategies, and systems that you can apply into your business immediately to help you strategically scale your business without burning out, so you can impact more people and scale to the $1 million mark and beyond. Go get that right now, strategicscalegift.com, and let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
Many of them won't ever know who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Dre is, or who Strategic Scale is. Like, they won't know, but through that. So our mission is to help brilliant entrepreneurs build companies that make the world smarter, healthier, wealthier, more fulfilled, right? And that's the work we're doing through other business leaders. That's because at one point we was like, we want to help 1 million business add an extra million to their annual revenue, which would be $1 trillion.
Right.
That's cool, but it's just an arbitrary number, really.
Okay.
Because if we help 1 million businesses add an extra $1 million to create $1 trillion, it's just a number. But what if those businesses aren't creating real impact?
Right.
And they're just creating revenue.
Right.
Right.
They're selling some things.
Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
I got you.
It's an arbitrary number.
Right.
But it's like, what if we help a business get to $500,000? They create a real impact. They got a solid staff that they've been able to employ. They got nice profit margins. They have no desire to get to $1 million. So it's more a mission around that. And now we can create, let's say, for example, we help Sally get to X amount of revenue. She used to clean her home house. Now she hires somebody who can clean her house.
Right. Got that time freedom.
You get what I'm saying?
That freedom, that time right there.
Freedom time. Yeah. And she just hired another business.
So she's employing another company and put money in someone else's pocket. I like that.
You get what I'm saying? And now that business is more empowered because let's say because Sally hired this person to clean her house, she can now put her kids in better schools. We've
the person who even cleaned the house is what you're saying.
We've impacted this kid.
Yeah. Just by teaching this
Sally
person to do a good business. I got you.
That's the mission.
I got you.
So I make sure I'm talking about that more and more and more.
I gotta find my mission then, man.
Yeah.
My original mission was for this to show people to make 6 figures. Again, our big number makes, and again, 6 figures. I know we said 6 figures can be what? Was it 9,999?
It can be a lot.
Or it can be 1,111.
Yeah.
You know, like 6 figures in a year. That was my original mission. That's what my mission is now.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're right. What's the why behind that?
Yeah, because once you get to your number, whatever your number is, and you like, I really don't got to do this no more. It's like, what's gonna keep you fired up?
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't see us like kind of go through it. Was like, because I had to sit back and be like, okay, I don't really got to do this no more, right? Why do I want to get up and keep doing this when I could chill, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, let's reframe the mission. Let's look at this from a different lens. Okay. You know what I'm saying? What is the next 10? I've been doing this almost 14 years, right?
Wow.
So it's like, we done made the money, we done did the house, we done got the cars, we're doing the travel, we done did the things.
Okay, yeah.
Now what? I don't want another car. I don't want another crib.
Yeah.
I don't want a jet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll get a jet eventually, but I ain't in no hurry to get it. You know what I'm saying?
And then once you get the jet,
I got the jet. Now what?
Now what?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like,
I'm with you on that.
So it's like, what's the next 10 years?
Okay.
For me, like as a company, but what is this for Marquell for the next 10? So I had to read it. I went a few months like, You know what I'm saying?
I need that. That was missing. My why mark. I got a lot of what marketing.
Yep.
But why marketing?
Tying that why in there. So now people are going to be able to connect to that, especially what you're doing. Your travel now, you got more freedom. You know, also you've been able to transition from, you know, being corporate or in the school, you know, world and not doing what you're doing. Business, so whatever that may be for you, now you're showing like your why. So like it's this, people typically connect to like why you do what you do versus what you do.
Really?
And then when you're clear on the why and the mission of the company, your team, they're like, oh.
And they got crystal clarity right there.
Because if you think about Microsoft, Microsoft, their mission was to make sure a laptop or computer was in everybody's house. Yeah. You remember it, right?
I've heard that, yeah.
Now, guess what? Yeah. We know who Bill Gates. Yeah. But everybody who's with Microsoft and who was with Microsoft in the earlier days, they know and they have fulfillment knowing that they were a part of getting a computer on the desktop. Even if we don't know who they are.
Right. That's crazy. Okay.
They were like, this is the mission.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So just be thinking about that and how you can tie it in. This is the multidimensional. Most people just stop at just the what.
Just the what. Yeah.
Here's how to do it. But if everybody is teaching how to do it, how do you differentiate? So one of the reasons why I do it is for the freedom. So people talk about people see me talking about my kids and my wife and travel and being able to do these specific things and why that takes priority even over the business. Because if I become a billionaire but my kids hate me, I lost.
Right. That was the point.
If my wife hate me and I make all this money, I lost. Like a lot of the guys who I looked up to at one point in terms of entrepreneurs, it's like all of them had been divorced multiple times and still like trying to figure it out. And this ain't no shade to them, but I was like, I ain't want that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I lost the game. If I get all the money, but I lose the things that's most important, I lost the game.
You lost the game.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the point?
So it's like, and I talk about that, and now people resonate with that. And they're like, oh, I can have it all. So that's the why. And then the point of view.
What's point of view?
The POV is like, what's your individual point of view based on what you do? So for example, I believe that business owners, CEOs, and founders can have it all. I don't think some people say you gotta sacrifice. Some people teach business say, man, you gotta sacrifice. I don't believe that. I think you gotta prioritize. Like you prioritize, again, it goes back to that balance and the harmony. It's like, no, you gotta just prioritize. You don't gotta sacrifice that. You just gotta prioritize.
So what you mean? So this POV, this is what you're marketing though? You're also telling your mindset.
I'm tying my point of view into what I do. You get what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, my point of view. We're talking about the flywheel, right? My point, most people who teach business, and we did it for a long time, you know that. Yeah. Most people just teach marketing.
This is one marketing. This is attraction. That's it.
That's it.
You can just attract and sell a product and make money. You good.
You good. And I thought that for a while. But then as we grew, and as we helped businesses like yours grow, we quickly realized, but you know, we had already been talking about it in the 7-Figure Society. Yeah, I'm sure. But I hadn't been talking about it publicly.
Right. It was more like get your phone on lines, get going.
Then we'll have this conversation. But it's like, no, you need the whole picture. Right. You need to know finance. Yeah. You need to have team. You need to have this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Albert and Lauren at Right Choice Accounting, right? Big shout out, right? So it's like, you got to have that. So now Albert know. Yeah. When we bring on a new client into the Strategic Scale Institute, one of the first things is like, hey, you need to talk finances. I need to connect you with Albert now, right? 100%. So they can talk you through this. So because it don't matter if we help you make a whole bunch of money, but you don't got a handle on the money, you lost. You get what I'm saying? So we got
almost hurting them more. You
get what I'm saying?
You put $500K in someone's pocket, they know what they're doing.
Bingo.
You hurting society.
Bingo. Bingo. Yeah. So it's like we need to have that. We need to have team. Not only team, but like how do you have systems to hire? Do you have systems to train this team, take care of this team, all those different things. So you got to have the whole thing if we want to build a real company, if you want to sell at some point, or if you just want to exit as a CEO or whatever it looks like. So that was my new point of view is like, well, marketing, just because you can get leads and get clients don't mean you have a business, right? So that's my point of view. Some people may push back against that, but my point of view is you got to have these 8 pillars, which makes up the Strategic Scale flywheel. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So, for example, with you is like, one of your point of views is like, well, you could just be a middleman. You don't got to have this. You don't got to do this. You don't got to do that. You can literally just be a middleman.
You're right, yeah.
And you can eliminate all this other stuff and only focus on this. That's correct. While somebody else may be teaching government contracting.
And all the other stuff.
You're like, no, you don't got to do none of that. All you got to do is do this. And you're like, oh, this is why. So this is his point of view. Here's why he's doing it. And I connect with that why. And now you're like, here's how to do it.
Here's how to do it. Boom, boom, boom. And this multidimensional marketing is just, this is in the marketing. This is also in the coaching too, right?
Oh, check this out. Check this out. So the traditional funnel is like creating awareness, creating interest, creating engagement, creating clients. You know, we talked about that forever, right? That's one dimensional though.
Mm-hmm.
When you think multidimensional from an internal marketing, just like you just talked about. So now in your marketing, when you're getting awareness, you're treating people who aren't clients yet like clients.
Like they clients, yeah.
So they like, man, this boy Wes give out more information for free.
Yeah.
Then I can only imagine what his paid stuff is. Right. So like if somebody, so when we do free virtual events, they get a concierge.
Wow.
And they like, hey, it's a free event.
Call me and ask me how I'm doing. Like, get the heck out of here.
It's a free event. It's a free event. And they like, I can only imagine. Right. So in your awareness, are we talking about that? And then we lead to acquisition. And then that's ascension. So like when you take care of this and this, now people want to ascend to your other levels. People want to renew with you and continue to work with you and so forth and so on because you're taking care of them through the whole process. Because sometimes people ask me, well, Marco, how do you get people to continue to buy from you or buy your other stuff? And it's like, well, you take care of them up here. So now it's just a logical next step to continue to rock with you. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So that's where the multidimensional marketing piece comes in. And then having that process where you turn it into a flywheel. Strangers, prospects, customers, promoters, and then you map it out. And you look at, okay, what is your client acquisition process? Like for example, with your challenges that you do or your event that you got coming up, your whole process. What is that? Like have it mapped out, like where you can visually see it, and then building a scorecard that tracks that data. So now you can see what's the breakdowns in it, and looking at that on a daily, weekly basis, and then every quarter when we do those quarterly getaways, either on the front end or the back end. Like analyzing the whole thing, and then seeing what's the breakdown, where's the failure points, and so forth, and what do we need to optimize for this new quarter.
Got it.
So that's how we think multidimensional with that thing.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yeah. That's amazing.
Cool. What was the other part you had? So that's multidimensional. We hit multidimensional marketing.
That was it.
We hit inner game. We hit harmony.
Those are the three things that I was missing.
Those are the biggest three things.
Yeah, those are the biggest things I was missing from the flywheel.
That makes sense.
Yep.
This is good.
Yeah. Then my only other question was the event.
Let's talk the event. So I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna stop this so that'll be a separate audio. And then say, okay, go. I just turn this on just in case we get to writing. So all right, let's talk event. So what questions you got as it relates to the event?
The biggest thing for me is leading to the decision. Like, I mean, I know now that my offer is the mentorship program.
Yep.
And it's also continuation. So someone's already in the mentorship program for them to renew.
Yep.
Either renew or stay in the mentorship program.
Yep.
So now my only question is, what do I talk about for the 2 days to stay focused on that one outcome?
Yep. So renew. The offers are renew. For how much?
So they can go to a monthly plan, it was $397.
$397.
Yep. And then, or new people join the mentorship program, which is $12,000.
$12,000.
Yep.
Do you want them to do $397 a month, or would you ideally like them pay in advance for the year?
I mean, ideally, pay for the whole year.
What's $397 times 12? What's that? 400. It's about 40. It's probably like 47. 50,
yeah, it's like it's like a little. Yeah, they got a deal. They definitely got a deal. I mean, yeah, 47.64.
Perfect. So 47.64.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. All right. Cool. So we can do that. So renew, and then you said new enrollments.
And new enrollments. Yeah.
Are $12,000.
Yep.
All right. Good. All right. Perfect. And those are the main two offers. Those are the only two offers.
Those are 2 offers. Yeah.
All right. So now you like, what content do I teach?
Basically, yeah. I mean, I know how to teach government contracting, and I know I can sit there and just keep teaching it. But I want to make sure that, like you said, it's structured in a way that we're guiding people to make a decision.
Got it. So what would you say, what's the identity that these individuals who come in, they want? Are they looking to build a company, get to 6 figures, or $1 million? Or like what's the thing, or even if it's not a number, what's like the identity that they want?
The identity, well, I would say that, I mean, I don't know until we see what it looks like, because obviously we're open to the public, and we also got people in the program. So we got 2 different camps. So we'll see what kind of shows up. But I really think for both camps, the common ground is submitting a proposal and actually doing government contracting. So many people are signed up for it, but they'd be signed up for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. They never did nothing.
So why do they want to do this though? Outside of the government contracting and the proposals, it's a vehicle to get them somewhere. So why do they want to do this? What's the?
I mean, they all say the same things: financial freedom.
Financial freedom.
Yeah.
Do you find like a common number that they want to hit?
I mean, I chose 6-figure as my base, but that's not to say that most people just say they want to replace their job, and most people are anywhere between, you know, 30K a year to maybe high 70K a year. Most people are just like, man, if I could just spend more time with my family and make the same amount of money I'm making now, I'm good.
I love it.
That's all they want.
Perfect.
I said,
so,
really? That could be 2 contracts. First of all, but go ahead.
So let's just say, for example, so it's 10 to 6, right, for day 1.
Yeah, 10 to 6. Yep, day 1 and day 2.
Okay,
is the idea. Yeah.
So one thing I would do. And once you flush this out and you get the main run of the show laid out, you can send it to me and I'll review it and give you some feedback on it. Because like when they buy a ticket, we still got to get them to actually come.
Right.
Because like people will pay $4.97 for a ticket and don't come.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like we've had people spend $1,000 on the ticket and don't show up.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
They were like, "Can you create something else?" It's like, we don't got enough to we sell for $1,000.
Right.
Like, we can probably put it towards. Put it towards something and you can add some more to it. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people buy a ticket, they don't show up. So
it's true.
All of that means something. So it's like even if that looks like them buying a ticket and somebody on your team reaching out to them to congratulate them, let them know, see if they got everything. You know, let them know, hey, go ahead. I'm gonna send you the email. Make sure you got the room blocked.
Okay.
All those different things, like all that is gonna lead to the experience.
That's good.
Right
now is they bought a ticket, the email goes out.
I would have somebody reach out to her.
All right.
Hey, what's up? Congratulations. Wanted to reach out to you. I know you got your ticket. Want to see if you had any questions. Make sure you got the welcome email because like even the delivery email may go to spam.
Yeah.
So we can't trust that. So it's like, hey,
they're thinking like, dang, I just paid $4.97. I ain't getting nothing.
I ain't getting nothing.
Right.
And now they sitting and they like, well, I thought somebody was gonna send me something. And then you be like, dang, you didn't come to the event. And like, well, I never got anything. You know what I'm saying?
And they find out it was they on D&D. It's like D&D.
Yep. And then when somebody calls them and they go ahead and get them to book their room. You get them to book their room. Now you increase the chance of them actually showing up.
Yeah.
Because now they committed. So we committed, they bought the ticket. Now you committed. You done booked your flight. You done booked your hotel. It's like at that point.
That's good. That's good. Cause we didn't release the room details yet. We just picked the hotel. We got to sign the agreement, all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't even we released Miami where it's at, but we didn't release the room blocks.
Yep.
So that's going to be the follow up call.
Because it's next month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to get the closer the event is, the higher flights are. Mm-hmm. So we want to hit this thing hard because it's 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Because like if they get into like 7 days, because like people go, because like when it comes to live events, it's a lot of decisions people got to make. So they like
family, kids, dogs,
all that,
everything. Yeah.
Flights. I got to get a dog sitter.
Yeah.
Can I get off? And then a lot of your audience still work jobs, right?
I would assume so.
So they like, I need to get off my job.
Yeah.
Not off my job. I need to get.
I purposely put it on Wednesday, Thursday because I also wanted certain people in the room, and I also want to do government contracts. So that's why it's not a weekend event. It's Wednesday, Thursday.
That makes sense. So it's like they got to figure out all that. So like if they book their flight 7 days out, they're gonna pay probably about $1,000, depending on who they fly with, to come. So so all those things got to be taken into consideration, when it comes to executing on it. So what I'm saying with the run the show is like that first, because doors open at what time?
I don't know. What time should the doors open?
Because you want to look at when does doors open, and then when does Wes hit the stage for his first 90-minute segment.
That's a good point. I was thinking like 10 is when I was going to start talking.
When you was going to start talking.
Yeah, I guess doors should open up like what?
So let's just say, for example, let's say doors open at 9. I'm just saying hypothetically because I don't know the agreement with the hotel.
Right.
But let's say doors open at 9, right? And then let's just say, because then you're going to have people lining up at a certain time, right? And then let's say they're coming in, they sit down, you got music playing, getting energy right. Again, the music, because like imagine if you go to an event, because like even when I go to like a predominantly white event, the music that they're playing is totally different if you go to a predominantly black event.
Sure.
Like the whole thing is different, right?
Right.
The whole vibe, everything is like different. And even depending on, if it could be a predominantly black event, but depending on who's the host. I went to my boy Julian event, and his event was heavy on the spiritual side. Kel was there as well. And me and Kel was talking. I think he was there also. And it was like the vibe was just like super mellow, wasn't it, bro?
Yeah.
It was like, I'm talking about like, it was a meditation. I walked in and I was like, I can just feel the spirit here. Like straight up, bro. It was crazy.
Wow.
And I was like, and he was like, they've been doing a lot of deep work the last couple of days.
Wow.
I was like, I can feel it.
Wow.
You know, and when they played music, the music was kind of low, wasn't it, bro? Like the music wasn't blasting. You know, we do even, it's like typically music high, it's high energy. Or if you go to some other events, it's high energy, but it depends on like the host and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
All that stuff matters.
Okay.
Because if they're like too vibed out, they're like, I don't know. They're like,
let me chill. I'm about to, I don't know.
Let me chill for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So 9 a.m. doors open. Let's say 9:30. Let's say 9:30. You have somebody do like the MC does an icebreaker.
Okay.
Right. So the icebreaker could be them asking them a question, getting them to work, getting them to talk to somebody. Because now you want to start building community.
Okay.
Because again, everything is intentional.
Yeah.
So now you start building community. Right. Now the beautiful thing is like if you can start building community sooner, like when they register, you add them to a Facebook group or you add them to a WhatsApp or that type of thing. So now you're already building community. So one of the things Lo did with us for the Wealthy Black Coach event, she had got an app.
Yeah,
so you remember that? And everybody was in the app.
Yeah, right. Everyone's communicating and all that stuff.
So you don't necessarily got to do that, but like sometimes if you create a community already, because now when it comes down to buy, a lot of times people will buy for the community. You know what I'm saying? So 9:30, let's say they do an icebreaker, and then right before 10, Wes comes out and does his first segment.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So now you come out and let's say from 10 a.m. to 11:30, you come out and do a 90-minute segment. And typically this 90-minute segment, you want this to be around like how I got here.
That's what I was thinking too. It's not straight like, hey, here's how to. It's more like.
Because the first part of the day, before you get to the offer, it's all identity. Because you gotta help them become the person that makes this buying decision. So it's all like pre-framing.
Yeah.
Like all up to the offer.
Gotcha.
So this whole process is like, here's how I got here. So a lot of y'all see me doing this and y'all see me doing this and blah, 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 but I want to just take y'all back for a second and walk you through how I got here. So y'all don't, and now you're taking them on this journey, showing them pictures when you was a teacher and even before the teacher, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
I did some things that didn't work out so well. Boom, 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 boom. So you're taking them through this whole journey.
Okay.
Right, and then you're making it practical and then also helping them have some mental shifts throughout that whole process as well.
I like that.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now it's like, so you do that, and then from there, you do a 20, 30-minute break.
Okay.
So now you're like, hey, go get some break, get some water, meet somebody. Your MC, now, when you finish
That's
this,
when the
your MC come back up. Boom.
Yeah.
Your MC come up, hey, take a break, meet somebody you ain't know. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to start back at 11. So be back in your seat at, we're going to start back at 12. Right? So be back in your seat at 11:50. Right? So now they come back in. So you do like a 20, 30-minute break. And then so that'll be 11:30, so they're back at 12. And then you go then your MC brings you back out, right? So, and then you'll go from 12 to, let's call it 1:30, right?
Okay.
And then 12 from 1:30, again, is more mindset.
More mindset stuff? Okay.
Yep, more mindset stuff, right? And then you could go, because I'm wrapping around 2 days versus 3 days, because normally 3 days would be a different flow because you got 3 days to break it out over. So I'm just wrapping it around like a 2-day flow. So then they go to lunch about 1:30. They go to lunch, about an hour lunch. And the crazy, you didn't got a massive group. It's going to be 50, so it'll be cool logistic-wise. So they go to break, lunch, they come back. Let's say y'all start back at 1:30.
We went to 1:30, right?
So we went 12 to 1:30. That's right, 1:30 went to lunch. So let's say they come back 2:30.
2:30, okay.
And then 2:30, you do so 2:30, so we got 2:30, we probably got about 2 more teaching blocks. So let's say 2:30, you do a panel.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
So like your 12 to 1:30 is mindset, but it's still some teaching. So it's like, it's mindset, but it's like practical building a contracting business, right?
Got it.
And you tying a lot of heavy mindset into it.
Got it.
And then they go to lunch because it's been a lot.
Yeah.
They come back and now you're like, all right, how many of y'all would love to hear from some amazing people that's actually came through and implemented this stuff into their lives and how their lives look now? You're like, me. And now you do your success panel. Yeah. So you bring, let's say you do 3 or 4 people, right? Some who can resonate with everybody. So you may have a woman, you may have a guy, right? You may have somebody has a family with kids, right? You may have somebody who doesn't, right? Because you want to do as good as possible to like resonate with everybody who's in there. and then you do the panel.
90-minute panel or is it
No,
60 minutes?
So you can probably do, so depending on the levels of your program, you may have 2 panels, right? Mm-hmm. So you may have, all right, for these people from this program, we do a panel with them, and then we have another panel with these individuals.
Really, it could be the 30 day, hundreds and hundreds of people went through the 30 day, and in the mentorship program, there's like 160 people in there. So it could be 30 day in mentorship.
Bingo. So you can do that. And then, because you got coaches too, right?
Yeah.
How many coaches you got?
I got 3.
Perfect. So you can technically do, let's say you do a 20-minute, let's say you do a 20-minute panel with the first people, and then you do another 20 minutes.
That's how the page is built out right now, just to give you an idea what it's built out. And then when it gets to the coaches, Tom, Chrissy, Sheena, and then this guy down there, I don't think he's seen this page yet.
Nice. So now you like, let's say you do a 20-minute panel with, let's say in that case, let's say you did one panel for 20, 30 minutes, right? And then with the client success.
Yeah, client success. And that really could be, the coaches, they're all clients.
Oh, these are clients too?
These are all clients.
Well, that's a whole other thing, right? So let's say you brought clients on who aren't team members for 30 minutes and do a panel.
Yeah.
And then you do another panel with team.
Yep.
So now you can talk to and then you can also highlight that these are actually clients as well.
Yeah.
And now you let them share some insight on that panel.
Got you. So a panel with students and a panel with team, and then they also highlight, they also clients. Yeah, also clients.
And they'll talk about their story and so forth.
I got you.
So that's 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So that's about 60 minutes.
So do the panels back to back?
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's 20, 30 minutes. So you
like
ask them a handful of questions.
I got
you. So it's boom, boom, boom. And then after that, y'all like, how many of y'all got value from that? Me. How many of y'all, which one of those success stories did you see yourself in? Me, such and such.
So the MC do some share and all that stuff.
Exactly. What you still on stage? Because we're gonna go from panel straight into offer. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's success panel, and I was like how many of y'all would love to know to work with me and that team directly? Because when you work with me, you work with my entire team. How many of y'all would like to know how to work with all of us to build your successful contracting business? They're like, me. They're like, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to take the next couple minutes to talk about how we can actually work together in this program that I put together for you. If you're not interested in working together, you can just take a break.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But how many of y'all want to stick around and hear how you can work together? Oh, me. Ain't nobody going to move.
No.
Right? You just kind of giving them out. Ain't nobody going to move, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when you go into the pitch.
So that'd be around 3:30. So we did
like
panels like an hour, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here.
Yep.
Share.
Yep. If that. So about an hour max, right?
Hour max, yeah. And 3:30
go to the panel.
To the offer.
Go right into the offer. Boom, boom, boom. Like and at that point, you have somebody on your team pass out order forms. And then you're like, hey, get your order form, fill out your order form now. And then, meet the team in the back and they'll, get you on board, and then whatever, if you're going to do like the first X amount of people get this or whatever.
Right. Have the little promotion stuff like that going on.
Go to the back, go ahead and sign up, and then we'll see y'all in 30 minutes.
I like
And then at that point, your team is working the room to get signups.
Right.
And then you will come back and then you will have probably like another hour, 90-minute segment.
Okay, then have a last segment, yeah.
And then at that last 90-minute segment, you're doing some teaching, right? And then you're also kind of repitching the offer, kind of reseeding the offer as well, right? You like, for example, we get into a lot of this, like a lot of y'all who already took advantage of the offer, we're gonna be helping you do this type of stuff, but I still want to cover this as well, right? So now whatever that teaching segment you're gonna teach.
Do I do the what's cost of life at that point?
So great question. So not in that one. I would do on day two.
Day two, yeah.
On day two, because like at the end, when you end your last segment, you're going to remind them to go take advantage of the offer because of XYZ. You're going to come up with some reason why they need to buy now. Right. So you do some fast start bonuses, whatever that may look like. Ideally, the fast start bonuses don't involve a lot of your extra time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So something independent of you.
Yeah, we got some stuff that we mapped out.
Right. So you got that.
The team could do, yeah.
So then the next morning is you start with a 90-minute segment. Same guy, whoever gonna MC, they bring you up. You do a 90-minute segment. That 90-minute segment, that's your repitch. And that's when you do the
cost of life.
That's when you do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's when you do that.
Okay.
And then you do a 90-minute segment, and then they go to break. And then they come back, and then you can, if you got somebody on your team who you want to do a segment by themselves, that's when you can put up somebody on your team with a segment by themselves type of situation.
Got you for that next that 10 to 11:30 segment.
Because you're gonna have about each day. You're probably gonna have about 4 teaching segments with the 90-minute spots.
Okay.
With breaks and lunch, probably about 3 or 4, and then that one you can decide. And then you will do the, because if you want to put 2 other people up individually, you can. You don't got to get them 90 minutes though. It can be 30 minutes or an hour, and then you will of course do the last one to close it out, and then again remind them about the offer. And then also after you make the offer, at the end, anytime they go on break, your MC is reminding them like, hey, while you're on break, make sure you go talk to the blah 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 XYZ. You know, we're here. We got any questions you got. Let's go ahead and get you enrolled.
Yeah. Okay. So even after I do that first repitch in the morning, like when I take that break, that's that time to have a table maybe or have some time.
100%. Once you do that repitch and you do the cost of life, you're like, hey, like if y'all don't want to continue to pay life XYZ, when we go on break, go to the table, talk to the team. We got different payment options. We got this. Get your spot. Like the worst thing you can do is leave here. Like everything you done did up until this point was for this moment. Like go lock your spot in.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? And then you like get to the team and you'll be walking around and you're like, so one of my favorite questions is like when I'm walking through events that I'm doing and they, because people want to take pictures and they want to ask you questions. Sure. Now I'm like, hey, what's up? So we working together?
Yeah, that's your favorite thing to say.
You already know. Yeah. So we working together?
Yeah.
And they like, oh yeah, I already enrolled. They like, I got a couple questions. And now you kind of
like, okay, what's the question? Yeah.
What's the question? And especially since it's 50 people,
yeah,
you can like navigate it and walk through it, and then your team, as well. So
yeah,
that's big picture how we want to run the show to go.
I got that.
And then after the event, everybody who didn't enroll, because you still got an enrollment team, right? After the event, then we got a post, and I give you this as well. We got a post-event campaign as well, because now everybody who didn't enroll, we want your team on top of those, to get on the call. And it's more like it's a real customer service frame. Hey, thanks for coming. What did you get from it? What didn't you get? What you feel like you still need? And then it could be an opportunity to talk more about the offer depending on the situation.
Got it, because we'll have all their information.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's big picture how we wanted to look for those 2 days. And then, another thing. People, what you got planned in that evening on day 1?
Nothing set in stone. I know I want to do a little yacht thing in Miami. That's the one thing I was thinking of doing. I was actually thinking about doing it on day 2 and saying like, hey, for those who get started, that's not the real perk is obviously doing government contracting, but that was one of my thoughts. I'll probably,
if so, whatever you're going to do special, I would do it on day 1.
Do it on day 1.
Because like everybody who enrolls, get to join me for this.
Yeah, that's what I was.
So like, let's say for example, if you enroll, I'm having a private dinner later on.
Yep.
You can come join me, ask questions, and we'll start your onboarding and get you good. Or you might be like, hey, I got a yacht for the evening.
Yep.
Everybody who's gonna enroll, you can come kick it with me on the yacht and my team, ask us questions.
Yep.
Free drinks, free food.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. Like how many of y'all want to join me on the yacht?
Yep.
It's like, well, if you do, go lock your spot in.
Okay.
Because you don't got all day. You got to make a decision.
Just do that on day 1.
Yep. Because after 2 days, bro, depending on how you are, you ain't gonna really want to do a whole lot of hanging out with a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm telling you that right now.
Tired.
Yeah,
tired,
for sure.
Yeah.
Unless you're just like a super extrovert, you're gonna probably be like, let's turn up. But I know for me, I'd be like, I'm ready to go high.
Yeah.
We be
I feel
spent.
I feel that.
Bro, we be spent.
I feel that. Okay.
Like sometimes after events or 2-3 days, Kev and them would be like, hey, you want to do a W3? And I'm like, bro.
What? Like BW3?
Like a W3 is like, hey, we did this event. Hey, we just wrapped up this particular event.
And like do a
Here's
video
what happened.
Talk about it?
Just like a recap.
Yeah.
He's like, bro,
nah.
Let's do it tomorrow. I'll send you audio. Like, I don't got no energy to do nothing else.
No, I'm good.
Yo, we be spent. So like you want to maximize all that on day 1.
Okay.
So now you give people a reason to like buy now.
Okay. I'm locked in.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how we lay it out. And then once you lay out, put like the framework in the Google Doc, shoot it to me. Like when you fill it in with like, here's what I want, here's what I want, here's what I'm thinking. And then I'll review it and then give you any feedback and we'll just massage it together.
All right. I'm gonna get it to you this week because we gotta get this thing
I already
going.
know how you roll.
Yeah, it's gonna be done Friday. That's the goal.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised at all.
Okay. That's what I needed, man.
That's all you needed?
Yeah, that's all I needed.
You good?
Yeah.
Send them up. Send them up. There it is. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, you want to do 2 things. Number 1, click below this video and go ahead and subscribe so you'll be the first person to know when we release new episodes. And number 2, you want to click right here so you can check out the next episode. I know you're going to love that one as well. So go ahead and subscribe right now and then click right here to check out this next episode. See you in a few.